Playing into Fortnite like someone who just learned how to play the acoustic guitar. I raced back into the Fortnite forest again and quickly grabbed myself a weapon because I accidentally landed right in front of someone. I'll see you back at the bus station. Bye. Feeling really good about myself, I quickly power up on some blues and grab myself a goldie. Make sure I grab myself plenty of weapons and I managed to find myself a sword, but the damn thing's stuck in the ceiling. How did that happen? I need to be careful because I know there's plenty of enemies around, and it wasn't long before I found another one. I needed to go talk to the sensei to see what missions he'd give me, but this guy only talks in riddles. It's really annoying when they do that. And what's with this portal thing? Like, who's the face? Seriously. I asked my little blue squishy friend if he knew anything, but this kid only talks gibberish, so he was no use. And next thing you know, I got fireballed in the frickin' face. What, in the Toy Story? The bus driver told me to stop whinging and get back to it. Flying back in, you could see that there'd been a comet that had landed. Well, I'm assuming so. Not wanting to waste any time, I grabbed myself a motorbike and headed over to the first boss that I found, because with my play skills, I really needed some good loot. I planned to go have a nice peaceful walk down by the jetty, but all of a sudden Spider-Man woman thing, she just came out of nowhere. After all that, my health was pretty low and I was looking for a flopper, but I kept pulling up bluefish instead. And then, finally, at least I had plenty of bluefish to get to my mate Doug, and I was with Maddie as well, in case you hadn't realised. Maddie had gone off on a killing spree and it was just up to us to clean up all the mess. I found one of those spirit things I was supposed to collect. I'm still not really sure why though. We found a couple of abandoned bikes, so I got in the back with Maddie and then we went for a ride across town. Doug was the first one that spotted our enemies, but they seemed too far away. I was the idiot who thought I could get closer. Don't follow my instructions. I just feel like I always make the wrong decisions. Maddie came flying in, but he was the one that told me I was an idiot before going down himself. And now it was all up to Doug. He had one of those purple masks, so we were trying to teach him how to operate with it, but yeah, when you got two idiots trying to explain something, it wasn't really going to plan. When you finally actually do work out how to use the little portal thing, it is actually pretty cool, and it is a quick way to get around the map, but that's if you release it in the right spot. Sorry, Doug. We're back in for a next match, and hopefully I don't die so quickly this time. Oh my freaking god, what the heck is that? That is terrifying. That is terrifying. This silly banana is just a spider. She doesn't like ghosts. This is where I really started stressing out because I have run out of bullets. I only had a few shotgun bullets left and that was it. But then I remembered there's a few chests laying around and oh freaking hell, that ghost again. I'm so glad that I had Doug and Maddie here to save the day because this is fucking scary for me. That couldn't have gone any slower, even though it finished as fast as it did. I almost kind of didn't realise what had happened. Then Maddie told me there was something waiting for me outside. I mean, I could have had this one a few minutes ago if that would have been great. I headed across the other side of the island and I came across one of these little foxes that the sensei wanted us to grab. I made sure that Maddie and Doug had done it too. I told Doug to ride shotgun and we went for a little drive. I managed to get myself into a shootout, but it kind of freaked me out, so I ran away and then headed up the mountains, and this is where Dougie and Maddie were. We were going for a good vantage point to see who was around. This time it was my turn to ride shotgun, and then we headed up further. After reaching the very top, I could see there were people on the other mountain, but they seemed a little bit too far away from me. Maddie had gone full berserker and next thing you know, Doug was down. But lucky I was there with my potassium power to bring him back. In the meantime, Maddie had already run down the hill, but somehow he managed to get caught. I drove down as best as I could, even though we were missing half our tyres, just to get his card, and this is where I found the other team camping. They completely freaked me out, so I tried to get out of there. Tried my very best to get them, but didn't realise that they were able to double cross me and got me from behind. I flew back in and grabbed myself a little fluff ball straight away, and then made sure I grabbed myself a typhoon blade. I threw the blue squishy at the spirit catcher just to see what goods I was going to get, but for some reason he wouldn't take it. I don't know, I didn't know what was going on. And then I found a lost little fox. I came across a sly little pussycat who was hiding around in the bushes, and lucky for me, I got one of those swords. I headed over to the waterfall to see how Charlie the unicorn's going, and then all of a sudden someone started shooting at me, but I got them back. I grabbed myself my hot rod and then went for the biggest drive across the island because I was on the hunt for other enemies, and I felt like it took me ages to go and find them, but I finally ran into one. Just like a typical Perth train station, I found where all the Deros were hanging out. Do you ever look back at things and think, why didn't you just pick up that gold gun? The hot rod was completely rooted, so I had to get in the RC car instead. Trying to keep to higher ground, I head over into the mountains, and then all of a sudden I see something glowing in the distance. What is this? Not only do I have enemies floating around, but there's also that freaky ghost, so I better stay clear. On second thoughts, I have to investigate. There are presents underneath the Christmas trees. There seems to be some kind of magic spell around them, and it won't let me open it until closer towards Christmas. Feeling like I'm in an evil mood, I still need to go look for some more enemies. I head to higher ground until I finally see someone. Ooh, a tiara. Nice. Quick power up on some blue juice before I head on over to find my next enemy. I was feeling a little cold, so I needed to get out of the snow, and then I found myself in a little fox. And I finally managed to find a spirit catcher that actually wanted to accept my little fluff ball. I feel like I did that one just in time because the storm was quickly coming in. I was on the hunt for the next person and had no idea that they were watching me from afar. I decided to sit there really quietly, hoping they would think I'm AFK. I thought it was working, and then it didn't. Damn it. And this is where I had the perfect idea to double cross him. I knew he was going to try and blow me up because my car wasn't much lower, so I took his hot seat into his car. Just as he jumped out, I GTA'd him. For a second there, even I didn't even believe that this had just happened. But this is a replay, so you just have to believe me, but I definitely got a crown victory. Feeling pretty chuffed that I just won, I flew in with some fireworks. Making sure I start off with some good stuff, I head straight to the spirit catcher, because I know he's always got some good loot. Found myself a Tesla ute, and I go looking for someone who wants to play bumper cars with me. I saw an enemy hanging out by my friend Turtle, but then I thought, nah, I better not shoot because I don't want to misfire accidentally hitting him. I sped away and then headed over the mountains because I wanted to check on this Christmas ice cube thing. All I did notice was the glory was a lot bigger, but nothing much had changed, and I still can't open those presents. Damn magic spells. A couple people had spied on me from across the mountain, but before they had managed to get over to me, I had already got in my car and sped away. And this is where I realised I was actually playing duo, but even though I was solo. No wonder why this game was really hard, I couldn't work it out, now I did. Anywho, I'd headed over to the servo bird, and this is where I ran into another enemy. I had to play bumper cars with the next person, and then I made the ultimate mistake by bringing a knife to a gunfight. Well, that's what they thought anyway. Flopper. Found another enemy, but it may have been their lucky day because the train got in the way. Oh, that rhymes. I waited for the train to go past and I planned to run them down. And this is when I realised they were wearing that really cool rainbow skin. Every time I see it in the item shop, I keep meaning to buy it, but I keep forgetting. Found my castle pussycat, but this person definitely had 9 lives. Very agile. I'm actually so surprised I didn't move out of the way. Don't ask me what was going on here. I really don't know. I thought I'd better get away, so I headed over into the mountains. But that damn pussycat, it was already on my tail. Well, I was on his tail, or whatever you want to say. The next minute, he just disappeared. This is when I found the same person from the last game that was after a bit of revenge. But it wasn't quite bumper car revenge this time. Damn it. Christmas time was getting pretty close and I was invited over to open a present. It was pretty cool. I couldn't believe how many that I'd been given, but I was told I was only allowed to open 1 a day. Dashing through the bush in a rusty old newt, kicking up the dust, Esky in the boot, Kelpie by my side, singing Christmas songs. It's summertime and I'm in a singlet and shorts and thongs. Okay, I need to open up the pink one first. Oh wow, a new glider. Thanks! As much as it seems so crazy to sit in front of this fire, I really need to get back out there and find my enemies. With Christmas spirit, of course. Why not? Geronimo! Happy Christmas! Ren is Santa's gym buddy, but something tells me he might have been having a little bit of shell shock because I don't think he realised he'd actually crashed his plane. He reckons he's up to business anyway. You really wouldn't mind, but I borrowed his motorbike because I still had that mission to go find those little wisps. Those weird spirity things. I didn't even know what they were supposed to be for, but I was told I had to go and find them. Apparently the next lot of wisps were all the way over the other side, and from my understanding they were already in the storm, but you know what? Let's just go for it. Lucky there was water, eh? Alright, now that was a close one. Now let's just get back into the storm and go find these silly wisps. I felt like I'd run around this little place for quite some time, but for some reason I could only find 2 out of 3 of them, and my health was really starting to run low, so it was time to get out of there. Oh god, except not like that. Now I have to run all the way back up the top again. Try again. A quick heal up on the other side, but I'm still too deep in the storm even to enjoy this beautiful chicken. This guy, he just came out of nowhere. And after all that, I blew out my front tire. That's better. Driving around for quite some time looking for some enemies, and here's me thinking I can get this one while still running away from the storm. Yeah, I should have thought that one through. Zooming back into Fortnite, this is where I came across a Christmas tree that I am actually allowed to raid early. Next thing you know, I came across his rock monster, who doesn't seem to be in a very healthy mood, but he seems to be spewing up gold guns, so that's pretty cool. My turn again to head back up the mountain and see if I can find that last little wisp. Excuse me. Something tells me these guys have got the last little wisp. I found the wisp, but geez, I nearly rooted myself. I still like to know what these portals are for. They are freaky. You sure I don't get caught in the storm again? I make sure I get out of there. The spooky alien keeps coming back and I don't want to be scared forever, so I'm going to toughen up and see if I can fight this guy. Whoever the heck he is anyway. I can't believe after all that I was done by a bloody Christmas chicken. Next time. Feeling a bit bummed after the last one, I went back into Fortnite and this time I was back with Maddie. Making the next decision on what mission we were going to do, we knew we had to head over to this city and talk to the detective. Seems like this guy has hired all these little robots, so Inspector Gadget here, what's going on? But it also seems like every other person on the map seems to have the same quest at the same time. Shots were firing everywhere, but I'm just glad that I had Maddie to help me out. Everything seemed to happen so fast. I was shooting and then all of a sudden this ninja came out of nowhere and then suddenly I was down. Maddie had seen what had happened, so quickly swooped in, got my memory card, and like a scene of the Fast and the Furious, he sped down the quarter mile. Driving it like he stole it, he flew through the mountains and headed to a booty van. Booty van side quest done. We got back in the car and flew off over the mountains again, but we needed help from a little blue squishy. Dancing with his new friend, and then all of a sudden he got rammed. Maddie couldn't believe what had just happened, so he raced after the guy for a little bit of revenge. While Matt was off shooting this guy, what the hell was I doing? Well, making the same mistake. And it wasn't long before I was dead. So it was up to Maddie to try and save the day again. All Maddie knew is I'd called for help, so he flew off to try and find me. But I think he got a little bit confused because he didn't realize I was actually gone and someone else had already GTA'd my hot rod. And all that kerfuffle, he had managed to grab my card, and then he tried to get me back from the booty van, and then all of a sudden that bloody icy spicy lady came out of nowhere. I thought we were friends, but I don't know, for some reason she still doesn't like us. Feeling a little exhausted, I headed back to the cozy cottage because I wanted to open my next Christmas present. Ooh, a backpack. Thanks. Still head back with a bit of Christmas passion, but I need to finish that quest that I was on before, and I needed to go talk to Inspector Gadget. Oh, and so did Maddie as well. Stocking up on supplies before we actually leave town, and we'd already ran into some enemies. I wasn't exactly having a good time. Our first mission was to investigate why there was some random music equipment laying around the island. I wasn't driving, I swear. I can't believe it had been 2 seconds, but already ran into another enemy. But you gotta admit, it is a little bit intriguing why there's some DJ equipment just laying about out in the open. I mean, bush doof maybe? I followed the trail even further and I come across a random microphone. I mean, this seems to be a really strange place to have open mic night. I follow the trail up the mountain because there seems to be a cute little cottage with a random sculpture outside. I've seen these things before. Of course it was Snoopy. No wonder why the inspector didn't recognize him. He's wearing a Christmas outfit. We're caught up on some old times and he just let me know that he's just been chilling. Maddie really knows how to make an entrance, doesn't he? We thought we'd better get on with the deal, and we raced back over to the city because we needed to let Inspector Gadget know that nothing sinister was actually going on. It was just Snoopy all along. It was my bad driving this time. Like the ghost of Christmas past, he was still there, but down for a combo. Not wanting to hang out in the storm too long, I quickly got in a hot rod and made sure I got out of there. The storm keeps rolling in so fast, and at this stage we hadn't even realised how deep we were into it, but we were on a mission to make it out. Damn, that was a close one. At this stage we thought we'd better get up to higher ground, but while I'm at it, I just want to prove this island wrong. I can dance on this cliff. I like to call myself the boss of this island, but I definitely have banana brain. Like, I don't even know how this happened. Maddie was trying to save the day, and you're pretty useless when you're crawling around, but you can pick up a crown. Even if it lasts only for a few seconds. Not wanting to give up or admit that I'm forcing this Christmas cheer, I do however find a cool chest with plenty of peppercorns, so that was pretty cool. And you can't forget the 6-pack of blues. I got back in my Tesla ute and went off on my next adventure. Talking to the gods of the spirit catcher, suddenly someone started shooting at us. But joke's on them, because we were the ones with the good loot. Pulling up at our fave camp spot down by the lake, we seen that someone had already taken our spot. We need to take it back. We spent our day heading off into the mountains and then even going for a beautiful hike. It wasn't long before Maddie had started calling out to me because he'd found me a present. It was a sword. We headed out of the mountains, but Maddie told me he'd had enough of walking for the day, so we got back in his car instead. Praying to the temple, I get ready for my next fight, and then all of a sudden the island appears in the sky. Not wanting to miss out on the action, I head up to the final boss fight. And this is where I find out that I'm not the only one that's up in the sky. Yes, I finally got you, you stinky bastard. We'll make sure we stock up on all the good loot before the other players get to it too. Maddie had found the Mega Prezi, so we made sure we stock up some blues before we head on to the end of this fight. We've been trying to watch our enemies from afar, but we were far too up in the air to be able to see them properly. Maddie headed down to snag a spot for bush camping, and I thought I'd better come too. In my opinion, bush camping, it's kind of boring. That was all until I saw someone hiding right in front of us. Things seemed to happen really quick, and all of a sudden Maddie was down, and everything was up to me now. Even I can't believe we actually got that. Well, I hope you had a Merry Christmas.